Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Deal or No Deal Island Season 2. That's right, it's the DONDI After Show. We're talking episode 8. Sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. I have been away in Norwalk, Connecticut, doing a Survivor 48 premiere party with my good pal, Richard Hatch. Look for more of those parties, Survivor viewing parties with best trivia ever in the near future. Go to besttriviaever.com for that. But if you happen to be in Australia, and I know some of you are because of the Golden God, I will be in Sydney, Australia. That's right, the 16th of March. I will be with King George and Ferris from Australian Survivor, and then the 17th of March, I will be in Melbourne, Australia. Tickets available at survivortix.com. That is survivortix.com. But hey, we are talking DONDI. That's right, Deal or No Deal Island, Season 2, Episode 8, Safety in Numbers, Bobby Goodsby. Happy birthday and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Sorry for the delay, everyone. Both Johnny and I were out of town, but we're here and let's break it all down. Not the craziest episode. I feel like it was kind of straightforward, but also kind of screwed a couple of people over where there wasn't really an opportunity to make any moves. I feel like the producers kind of set this up so that they could get rid of maybe some of the riffraff in the middle.
Whoa, hey.
Just saying.
I think there may have been a little protection for the heavy hitters this go around. The crazy thing is, looking back, 3 challenges or 3 excursions in a row have been won by Letty, and she has done nothing to advance her game.
No. I think if we can go back to last week, okay? I just want to say, worst decision of the game was by Letty was not letting Dr. Will play Deal or No Deal.
That made no sense.
It made no sense to me. You literally control your own destiny. If Dr. Will goes home, right? If he loses the game, makes a bad deal, he goes home. It's his own damn bad luck. It was an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, okay? I mean, they weren't super tight, but she was tighter with him than she was with the options.
So you go into this part where David's playing, and obviously, who's he going to keep? The guy that they've been actively trying to take out, and all of a sudden, within the last evening, decided, you know what? You guys are right. I better make this move with you. I'm going to take out one of my strongest allies, who I call my son and is part of the family, over... take him out over Dr. Will, who's a proven winner of reality TV shows.
Yes. My son, who would literally take a bullet for the Golden God at this point.
It seems like a no-brainer. Obviously, this guy's lying. Obviously, he's going to do whatever best in his best interest. And to give him that platform.
If a car was approaching and it was Dixon and the Golden God, Dixon would push the Golden God out of the way and take the car hit.
And to be honest with you, I think if Dr. Will plays, I think he takes out Dixon. I think he really knows he can't trust Dixon. And if the Golden God says, hey, listen, I'll protect you, you protect me, whatever happens, let's just protect each other, maybe the Golden God stays. I think we might be able to keep both Dr. Will and the Golden God.
I don't have a problem with that. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that it was a slim chance that both of them were staying, but I think we had a better chance with Dr. Will than we did David.
Yeah. So, previously on Deal or No Deal Island, CK outed everyone's alliance and all the moves that were made against the family. And we also kind of caught a sneak peek at Philip's displeasure with Parvati, and we get a little more to that to begin this episode. So it is basically the weaponizing of Philip's childhood that by Parv that Philip has a problem with. So peek behind the curtain, Bobby. The childhood stuff, that the conversation between Philip and Parvati took place off camera.
Gotcha.
Therein lies a major issue with this.
Okay.
For Philip.
Okay. Because we're not getting the full story here. Yeah. Like there's definitely aspects of this that, like, I see where Philip's coming from. But then there's part of me is like, I really like Philip, but this is tanking his game. Like he's actively pushing away someone that wants to work with him, and he would be, if that side's starting to get taken out, if Philip's side's starting to get taken out one by one, you want to be the last one standing in that side, because then you have the best chance of surviving all the shrapnel, and they might start going at the family might start going after each other.
Yeah,
Philip's
if
actively pushing that away.
I like the idea of the Golden God protects Dixon, Parvati protects Philip, and then the family implodes, and I want Philip on the right side of history.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel. I feel like he was in the prime position, and I get where he's coming from. I totally can.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a son. He didn't want to be the other son. No one wants to be cousin Oliver.
Yes. Yeah. I totally get it.
So, and I get his feelings were hurt from Parvati taking something out of game, because as I said, it was a private conversation, no cameras, conversation purposely had with no cameras, because and there was the weaponization of it. However, and I love Philip, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm just so callous to reality television in general. I don't feel Parvati was purposely weaponizing it
to hurt him
necessarily for evil.
Yeah.
I feel that, as a veteran of this, you use whatever you can to motivate you. And I think she like, with a little more thought, maybe you don't say that. We're probably don't say that. But in just quick, hey, this reality TV, it moves 100 miles a minute, channel that, blah, 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 like, I don't think she's thinking this was told to me, I because it wasn't like this was, and I don't remember exactly, but I felt like it was kind of just a thing between the two of them, and not like the entire group. Hey, remember when you were bullied when you were a kid that you told me in private?
Yeah. It was triggering for him. It was something that triggered him. But you have to have thicker skin on reality TV, especially game show reality TV. Like, this is the problem with putting vets against newbies. And this is why it doesn't work. It doesn't work on Survivor. It doesn't work on Big Brother. It
really doesn't work on Traitors.
Yes, exactly. That's why they went away from it. They were like, wait, we got something great on this side. The other side, not so much. Let's go one direction.
Yeah.
So I totally sympathize for Philip, because I understand it's childhood trauma. I have no problem with that and how his feelings are. But I feel like in a game like this, you have to eat your feelings and play the game to outweigh the situation and play a game that's smarter for you. And because he's in a great position, he's probably in the best position in the entire game. He is the number one player that could win this thing, in my opinion. He's playing exactly like Jordan did in season 1, but now he's getting more vocal and getting upset at the people that want to work with him, and that could really backfire.
Yeah. So I don't feel everything is completely shut down, but it's a thing. So also finishing up last time on Deal or No Deal Island, David takes out Dr. Will. He has officially retired. We shall see. Retired in quotation marks. Hey, we're DONDI experts, Bobby.
Until DONDI All Stars calls, and then Dr. Will be on a first plane back.
Yes. So it is the celebration of David, everyone. The family is legit. Letty doesn't like it. And I'm just like, Letty, 3 excursion wins in a row, girl, and you've literally done nothing to advance your game.
Yeah, it's just been, everything's backfired. Everything has backfired for Letty. And honestly, some of it's not even her fault. It's unfortunate situations where she's hoping someone will get taken out and they end up not going home, and then the other person does that's working with her. But I also, how do you feel about this season where it's not
How do I
necessarily
feel about Letty? She's great.
Yeah, she's great.
Big fan.
How do you feel about this season? Unlike last season, where last season pretty much anyone could go home at any time. There wasn't people that were really safe outside a few occasionally. This
Yeah.
season, it's like half the cast is safe going into an elimination.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? It's bittersweet.
I preferred the anything could happen aspect of last season, but I prefer the players of this season.
I think that it's
Was that the correct answer or no?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer, but it's
well, maybe. Who's to
it's
say?
protecting the stars.
Ask Philip if there's a wrong answer.
The everyday normal people coming into the show, first timers, they're way more at a disadvantage than the people that have played before and are there because they are a personality. They are at an extreme disadvantage in this game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan, and I'm a fan of these people. A lot of these people, like Boston Rob in the first season, Parvati, David, Dr. Will, who I haven't seen play a game in 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to this show because I want to watch these people. I want to see them play this game. But I also don't like it when it's set up for those people to have advantages. You know what I'm saying?
I think this works itself out with the cast of 6 reality stars and 7. I think
skew the numbers more evenly.
Yeah, I think because I could imagine each reality person like grabbing a non-reality person. Like there's going to be like a couple are going to go work together, and there's going to be some people that don't like those people, and then they're going to. So I would rather see a bigger shifting in the numbers there, where it was literally Dr. Will versus the world.
Yes.
And Dr. Will just like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I don't really care.
I'm completely with you. I think the Trader season 1 did it the right way. Now, I know a lot of people, like I said earlier, people are up in arms. They'd hate these half and half casts. I get it. It hasn't worked. I liked season 1 of the Traders because I think I agree with, I like the winner. I do think that it at times can be too powerful of stars going up against these normal people that are playing the game for the first time. Yeah. But I agree with you in this aspect. I'd rather see there be an even split because I do want to see people that haven't played reality TV get a chance to play these games. I kind of hate that the Traders
I think the split works better on Dondi versus Traders. Correct. I think Traders is just such a mentally different show to like it. The reality veteran savvy is just so overpowering in the concept that is Traders versus the individual excursion battles that comprise Dondi as a concept.
And have you seen the foreign version of the Traders?
No.
Okay. There's some very good seasons, probably even some of the best seasons of like the UK version or the Australian version.
Yeah, Richard Hatch is all in on the Ireland one, or I don't know, something. Yeah.
They're very good, and they're just everyday people. They're normal people.
Yeah.
I love having the reality stars version in the US. I do love that. I think that should continue, but I also think there should be a version of the Traders that's normal people that want to play the game too. I think everyone should get a chance, but 2 separate games. One's with stars, and then the next season is this. And
I think Dondi can work with a half and half format.
Yes.
But I feel like three was not the magic number.
Correct. No, 3. And last season 1 is not the magic number. That's when love him to death, but when Boston Rob is getting an offer when he's playing, in episode 4 or whatever it was, of 7 low numbers and 2 high numbers and has a 80% chance of surviving.
What?
Come on.
It happens.
Come on.
It happens.
It's the only time it's happened, and it's literally the only person it's happened to.
You gotta love the luck that is Boston Rob. So, well, guess
the
what?
Banker sitting in episode.
It's the next morning. You know what that means? No makeup for Parv. Letty invites Dixon to stretch, and I'm confused here. Who's playing the flirting con, Letty or Dixon?
I love this so much because
I did
Dixon,
too, but who was the con?
dude. Okay, Dixon has no shot. Let's be real. Dixon has no shot.
Well, I believe that if your mom is Parvati and your dad's the golden god, the confidence is a little higher than the force is much stronger with Dixon than with most.
Dixon thinks he's
Internally.
Dixon thinks he's at a very good spot in this game where he has power that he doesn't necessarily actually have. He's just on the right side of the alliance at the moment. Letty's making the right decision of befriending / flirting with the minority member of that alliance to gain their trust.
Do you think the move was to flirt with Parvati?
Maybe.
I mean, I felt that of the options, I felt that Dixon was the low hanging fruit, but I feel like Dixon was also looking at Letty as the low hanging. It was just like, I mean, I'm kind of running the show over here, and I feels like I'm getting better looking every day, so maybe I'll give her a shot.
I love it. I love it for TV.
That was great.
I think it's phenomenal TV.
The uncomfortableness of it all is just, like, I mean, literally, they were both fake flirting. So, and why Dixon's fake flirting?
I really don't even think Letty's really flirting. I think she's trying to be friends.
She's fake flirting to get so. But I think Dixon's doing the same thing. He's just like, let me just string her along and see what I can work from this.
But he's not suave about it at all.
No.
And it's
like
just
she's sitting there, she's like, okay, did my fake flirt work? And he was just like, so, like, are you into me or what? Because I do have other options after this show comes out. So if we want to lock in something now and, like, maybe, like, watch the episodes together, hold hands, who's to say?
I really hope he says that. I really hope he goes in for the kiss or like tries to be like,
please.
Hey, should we make this official? Like, I want that reality TV moment and just the gold that will come from it.
Well, I think it's already over, but oh well.
How hilarious if we're wrong and then all of a sudden it's like they're a thing after the season.
I will say, Letty was in Nashville for this big Deal or Deal Island thing, and I guess some dude, apparently a very attractive dude, even more attractive than Dixon, allegedly, had swooned Letty, and they were hanging out. It's towards the end of the evening, and she looks at his phone and she's like, "Who's that girl on your phone?" He's like, "Oh, that's my girlfriend." And that did not end well for that dude. She did not put him on blast. I was actually kind of I was kind of hoping she'd put him on blast. I'm usually bros first. But I'm just like, you know what? I like fuck this dude.
Fuck this dude. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. She's WWE background. Like, surprised he didn't go through some chairs or some ladders or something.
She might have left that out. As MG likes to say, who's to say?
Exactly. There you go.
There you go. So, well, I don't know if you knew this, but Lachelle dated a firefighter with 2 Harleys, and I'm like, Lachelle,
you rebel.
You go, girl. I feel Lachelle has a few stories that would make you blush.
Can I be honest? I loved Lachelle. I thought she was in a great spot in this game and got totally.
Well, you said they trimmed the fat this episode, so I wasn't sure.
Well, okay, you know what I mean by that. Okay, I don't mean trim the fat.
Explain yourself, Bobby Goodsby.
I don't mean trim the fat as in the person. I'm talking about trim the fat as the reality character. Who do you think they hope would be lasting till the end? Their stars and their new TV stars, aka Letty, a Philip, a CK, and even a freaking
even Dixon to a degree.
Dixon to a degree.
To a degree.
Out of all those people, who is the one?
In spite of his massive getting poon ability.
I mean, the guy just goes ham. Let's be real.
He slays.
He slays. Okay, I can't wait to party with Dixon and watch him.
Just be there for the scraps.
I don't need scraps. I'm married. I'm good.
Me
I'm just saying
neither.
for him.
I think we're all. I'm talking about the common man out there.
Oh yeah. You know,
Yeah.
whoever can pick up whatever he's leaving on the
You're
table.
if you're Storm and you happen to be hanging out with Dick
in Austin, when they hang out in Austin, like Storm, watch out, man. Like, don't let him steal your girl. Okay,
yeah.
let him
But
cook.
if shit will work out for Dixon, but if you're lonely at the end of the night, he's gonna have some extras he doesn't need.
I know Storm's probably got something going on with MG still, but let's just say it doesn't.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say? We don't know.
Yeah.
But if he goes clubbing with Dixon, let Dixon be the front man, and then you're the friend that the good cop to his bad cop. How about that?
He's like the fat friend.
the ugly guy that actually just gives everyone a ride home at the end of the night.
Sure. That's that. I feel Storm self-described. That Storm would tell you. So
Storm's the guy you send out for the beer run.
Yes. Philip decided not to talk on the last episode, episode 7, but episode 8, he's ready to chat. And he tells Parvati, hey, you want to know what my problem is? You weaponized my childhood trauma against me. And you don't have a line when you play the game. And we're done.
Just completely cutting off ties, essentially, at this point. And
Parv's like, all right, can I? And he was like, nope. So
yeah, he didn't even let her finish. Like, it was just like, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
How did you feel about him just walking away like that from the conversation?
I kind of liked it. I'll be honest with you, but
yeah,
I don't think it was great gameplay for him. Because I want Philip to win. Yeah, and so I feel like this could come back to bite him in the ass. But if it doesn't, because I think I know I have thick skin, possibly one of the thickest, but over the years, I've softened a little bit. I don't know if Parvati has softened at all. I think Parvati, she may at this point is probably one of the most elite players in the history of reality television, and that part of her that conscience is probably just gone. So, and good for her. I lack that ability. I know Boston Rob is there. I think Parvati has evolved to there.
I think Parv is very much so a game bot, and she has said that having a kid kind of softened her up. And I do think that she is softened up in the aspect of emotional ties to people that she can perceive as like her kid, or like a Dixon, or like someone that she sees as someone that's vulnerable. However, I think that when she doesn't see you as someone that's kid-like or vulnerable to a childlike demeanor, I think it's natural game bot.
Yeah, you're just competition, and she can. So, but I think there was a part of her that likes Philip or liked Philip, and and for Philip, she crossed the line, and she was like, okay, well, I can live with cross. Like I feel bad, but I'm over it.
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, it's time for an excursion, and Par's like, that was emotionally manipulative to do before the excursion. I was like, yeah, shit sucks, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, he's really giving it to her, man. Like, he was really mad about this. Like,
well, it was literal payback for what she did to him.
And I get it. I totally get it. I hate it for his gameplay. I think it's bad gameplay, but I love it for him as a player and a person.
Yeah. So, well, this challenge is great. There's no way Letty can fuck this up. Go as a group, cut liabilities along the way. And CK nominates Letty right out of the gate because, is Letty really that physical?
Oh, no. Definitely not probably the most physical woman out there.
I think she's more physical than the Golden God.
Like, she's good chance. Like, pound for pound, Letty's probably the strongest person out there.
Pound for pound, Letty is the strongest person in the history of Deal or No Deal Island. One of the strongest people in the history of reality television.
Yes. I
She's a
would
beast.
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Pound for pound.
Yeah. So, but yeah, CK is like, no. So Dixon and Letty are cut. And so next is there's a pit. You have to choose who to cut before you actually look in the pit. And don't worry, CK is going to try to cheat once again. So what we don't know is, so what was it, last week or the week before when she looked?
Yeah.
That was the third time she has cheated in this game.
I can't. I can't with CK, man. Like John Jung Cook says in the comments, CK gives me life. She's so bad. She's good. I completely agree. Like, don't get me wrong. Love it for the TV version. Like, she is a train wreck TV at its finest. Will do anything to win, which we love.
Sure.
But it comes to a point where it's obnoxious how much you're just completely in it for yourself. Like, you're not going to win. Let's be real. There's no way these people let her get to the end, right?
No.
So I don't understand playing like that. Like, the whole pulling the balls thing and then just acting like it was, like, oh my gosh, I pulled this. This was completely, it was so over the top dramatic. And I'm so glad they got the visual of that.
Joe's just like, I'm right here.
Yeah. Like, you've got 15 cameras pointing at you, the entire cast looking at you, Joe's right behind you, and you still are doing everything in your power to cheat.
Just shady McShade. I love it.
Like, that just looks so bad.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm here. So, anyway, well, it's just iguanas.
I'm here for it.
So it's just iguanas. She's first, then Philip. Philip shook. Philip does not like iguanas. Have you ever had a pet iguana?
I've never had a pet iguana, but I would not be shaking like that. No, I get it. There's fears. I feel like we learned every single one of Philip's fears this season, and they just continue it.
I feel like this is the worst show in the world for Philip.
Yes. Like, he'd have probably a better chance on Survivor because there's none of them. I mean, besides the swimming aspect, like he would have an absolutely easier time than he would here. I'm sorry. It's iguanas. It's not like it's snakes. If it's snakes, I'm out. If it's spiders, makes sense. Hell, if it's even roaches, that makes sense. But it's iguanas. What are they going to do? They just sit there. They don't do anything.
So I was my first job out of college. I was the marketing director for the biggest fish and reptile store. And so like they would have me go to the schools and bring some lizards and snakes. And I was petrified. And they come there and they're just like, yeah, you gotta take them out and let them pet it and all that. And I'm just like, so do I have like gloves? And they're like, no, it's just a snake. And I'm just like, I'm not your guy. And they're like, yeah, you are. You're so
it seems like a bad job to apply for.
Yeah. And they're like, well, haven't you ever had? I'm just like, well, in college, I had a 5-foot iguana named Shaq Diesel, and he ate tofu. That was his meal of choice. So, but Shaq Diesel, I'd walk in with the leash and carry him around and all that. But a snake's a snake.
Yeah. No snakes. I can't do snakes.
But I've even overcome this, because when you're just like, hey, you got to go be a tough guy in front of a bunch of kids. So even if you don't want to, it's just like, there's like 30 kids looking at you, and you're like, okay, touch it.
Yeah. Did you, when you went out on Pearl Islands, how many snakes did you see? Like, were they prevalent out there?
I never saw a single. There's a scene because I slept on the edge of the bed by the fire. And there's a scene of a snake literally just going right past my head. I mean, a huge snake. I never saw it. That. So, and then iguanas, there was like these black apples that the iguanas ate, but those apples are poisonous to humans, but the iguanas could eat them. So if the iguanas ate the black apples, they were like a black and green combo, and that means you couldn't eat those iguanas. But if you just saw a green iguana, you could eat that. and me and Rupert we probably saw up 150 black iguanas. We saw one green iguana, and me and Rupert chased that motherfucker for like 3 hours.
Did you ever get them?
No. Oh, I'm gonna get it. No, you're not, Rupert.
They're quick, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really quick. They're fast. Like we saw the one on this episode hop onto the thing, but like let's be serious. In this episode, you don't even have to touch an iguana. Like all you do is go down the ladder, go through the water, go up the ladder, and you're home free.
Yeah.
Like
No, but I get it. Philip was shook. Philip, we love you. It's all good.
Philip, we love you.
Lachelle didn't care. Lachelle's like, ain't nobody got time for iguanas.
And also, like, what is this challenge? Because like this was literally the most lackluster like type of, if you're gonna do something with iguanas, why this? You know, like
this was
it did nothing for me.
Yeah, no, this wasn't good. So next it's heights and let's see. It's CK and
it was CK.
I have Parv led the charge to vote out Parv, and I'm like, that's not correct. And then CK.
No, they got rid of CK and they got rid of who am I blanking on? Someone in the chat help us out. We're both blanking on this. They got rid of CK and they got rid of totally blanking right now because it was the first one. Huh?
Philip, right?
Oh, Philip. Yeah, obviously we're just talking about him.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. So it's heights, and they're like Philip, you don't like heights, and he goes, well, maybe I do, and they're like, no, you don't. So anyway, so they get rid of Philip and CK. So guess what? I put CK may regret that. Possibly right, but maybe I guess I'm not. I don't know. Well, there's proposition save 3 of the first 4. They all agree to sacrifice Dixon. I'm like, whoa. Letty did not have Dixon's back in spite of his big dick energy.
Can I be honest with you? I was more surprised that CK didn't defend Dixon because I felt like CK was in a position where all 3 of them could have easily targeted CK. CK screwed over both Philip and Letty. He doesn't have a great relationship with Dixon. I was shocked that those 3 didn't go against CK because they want to see CK go home. Why wouldn't you want her to be one of the 2 options that could go home? That's what I didn't understand. And I also think that this episode really highlighted where the power is. And if these people that are on the lower end don't understand, okay, there's a reason Parv and David are at the end. Like even Dixon. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. No. Well, next is so we were told that the next thing was going to be heights. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's why we lose Philip. And that's why, and CK is like, I'm fine, whatever. So then it comes down to Parv, the Golden God, and Lachelle. And Parv's like, look, I want safety. And Lachelle's like, well, I don't want to do a zip line. So, and I'm just like, what did you think heights meant?
Yeah.
Like
Lachelle really screwed herself. I honestly think she's the reason she went home. Like, we'll get to it, but Lachelle put herself in the position where she was going to have no power at the end. Let's be real, Lachelle. They weren't going to choose you no matter what. You were going to be the one dropped off here. You didn't defend yourself at all. And then you
should have you should have locked in a deal that Parv's a scumbag for not honoring.
Yeah. And you literally should have made a situation where there's people that aren't clearly working together where it's 2 versus 1. And you made it so that it's 2 versus 1. I have no sympathy for that. That's just bad gameplay.
Well, what guess what, Bobby? Guess what, Bobby? They have 10 minutes to get back. And I'm just like, it takes more than 10 minutes to hook up their fucking safety gear.
Yeah.
Stop lying to me.
Oh, and they made it back with 3 seconds to spare, or 2 seconds to spare.
I do have in the notes, and just like the traders with 2 seconds left.
I hate it. I hate it so much because everyone knows it's bullshit. I'm sorry. I love the show. I think the show is great. I
Yeah.
hate that they do this because
The
we're
hate
not
though, 1 second
stupid.
left.
We're not
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like the Traders does this all the time. They did the
Every
worst.
week.
The worst I've ever seen though was last season with the Traders in the finale when they're all on the rocks trying to find like the clues and stuff, and they have to get to the pirate ship. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they have 5 minutes left, and they're not even to station 3, which then they have to take a harness, and then they have to get to the boat, and then they have to open the sail. And it's like 3, 2, 1, they did it. I'm like, really?
They did 45 minutes later.
You're gonna give it to them, but don't make us feel stupid.
Yeah. Well, Parv gets to choose who faces the banker, and Lachelle and Dixon are the only 2 options. And Parv needs a reason to throw up Lachelle. And Dixon's like, I'm your number 1. So isn't that a reason?
Yeah, seriously, right?
And I'm just like, Dixon, I like the argument. However, I don't feel that Dixon is Parvati's number 1.
No.
No.
Dixon, honestly, though, Dixon might be her number 1 because she has a better chance of beating Dixon in the final competition than she does David.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. So, Parv did tell Lachelle she would be safe, and but while this is happening, Dixon would like the Golden God as his dad.
Can I say one thing too, real quick? Why was David safe as well for getting second place? Like that just felt something, you know. Let's make David safe too, so we don't have to worry about him going home. You know, like
well,
power.
They could have made him unsafe, and Parvati's not going to put him up there.
No, but I mean, there was only 2 options. It was either play and go home, or play, win, and the other person goes home. That's not fun to me. You know, there's only 2 options. I want to. It could be anyone.
This is my least liked episode this season.
Yes. And then okay, so to go back to the Dixon dad situation.
Oh God, whew, that was a lot.
Did that not bring a little tear to your eye? Like, I mean, it's
Dixon,
no.
Because even if it had started to form, the fact that the Golden God and Parvati don't understand how people can have real emotions, just sucked it right back in. It's just like, oh my God, these people, and they're really.
Wait, like, is this how people are supposed to react to this? Why are my tears rolling down my eyes right now? Like, you know, but I did
the Botox and the filler.
I thought it was a nice moment.
I got it too. I can throw shade. I have shade.
I thought that it was a nice moment.
You're just jealous. I'm like, yeah, I'm jealous. I don't have as much Botox and filler. So trust me, I have it. I just don't. So I time it out for appearances, folks.
Do you think that Dixon was being genuine in this moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm Dixon, I want the Golden God to be my dad.
Yeah. I mean, Dixon's had it rough. Like, I feel for the kid. Like,
well, didn't Dixon get adopted by the family that came into the restaurant?
Yeah.
Well, if you're Dixon, don't you wish that Golden God came to your real parents' restaurant and adopted you?
Dixon wouldn't need to be on the show right now.
Or maybe he would.
No.
It's father versus son.
I feel it sucks because it's like such a Dixon makes himself at times unrootable and kind of like the goof. But then he has moments
as much as I hate Miles on Australian Survivor, I will accept this version of this archetype.
Yeah.
Is the most. You know what? Here's the crazy thing. I hate that Christian Hibicki, John Cochran, Carson nerd archetype. Can't stand it on Survivor, even Australian Survivor. Deal No Deal Island, the kid last season loved him. Dixon, like what is happening? How do they manipulate it to where I like this beyond hateable archetype for me?
And here's the thing, I'm not fully that archetype, but I'm kind of that in that archetype realm. Yeah. So I'm like, Johnny, I think you palatable. You think I'm respectable nerdiness?
Yeah, but Dixon's palatable.
Yeah, Dixon is. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he has moments where I love to see him, like the Letty situation.
Yeah.
I love it to be cringe, and I love it to be like, oh, this guy, he's in over his head. But then I
Yeah.
also like that he is a likable version of that.
Yeah. If he was hooking up with her, he'd be in over his head. She's just much taller. So there's that. All right. Let's see. All right. It's the banker's temple, and you know what that means. Parv's wearing makeup, albeit minimal. This go around. All right.
Damn it, Johnny.
All right. Golden God is here. He just left an audition for Newsies based on the hat wear. Were you not ready for a Newsies call out on this podcast?
Didn't expect that one coming.
Yeah. Yep. Guess what? Parv chooses Lachelle because, and but it's fine because she can win with her positive vibes.
I feel like you kind of had to figure at this point someone was going to go out by losing. Like it's all chance, right? Like they don't know which case you're going to take. It's going to be chance. But it kind of feels like this was like a time for it to happen.
And Dixon's disappointed that Parv had to think about it. And I'm just like, kid, she doesn't love you.
No.
They've literally mentioned every other confessional. They are willing to sacrifice kids like the woman in the car.
Yeah. 100%. And honestly, though, I think you're in such a better position of being the one to play that I would want to play 100% of the time. I don't care if it's my alliance and I have to go up and I'm the only option. Put me up because I'd rather have the control in my hands.
Well, the difference between Parv and the Golden God in this instance, with Parv winning, Parv has shown that she cannot be trusted and is not going to keep her word in front of others with this move. If Parv does not win Deal or No Deal Island, it is this right here that causes it.
I think the best thing to happen for David's game was him coming in second in this competition.
Yes.
I think it boosted him.
The blood is on Parv's hands because everyone else is seeing that Parv didn't keep her word. Dixon's second guessing why she even had to think about it.
Yep.
And she didn't keep her word. So, and then the Golden God's like, oh, and what's the main song from Newsies? I'm just over here in my hat.
Yes.
All right. Well, Lachelle picks 10, and then her first 4 cases are 11 for 2.5 million, 2 for $100, 4 for 1.2 million or 1.25 million, 9 for $500. The offer is $240,000. Go F yourself. No deal. Now we have to do 2 suitcases, and it's number 6 for $1, 12 for $2 million. Letty is a smoke show right here.
Just love it. That's in the middle of the notes.
I'm like, holy smolies, where have you been all season? Hey, it's the temple. Letty's wearing makeup. She also wears makeup for excursions. All right. Next, 8 million, and the number 8 for 1.5 million, and the number 1 for $1,000. The offer is $725,000. One case to open next round. No deal. Let's ride. The number 7 for $250. The offer is $1,558,000. And Letty's like, all right, let's do it. Is that the move?
At this point, it's been like 50-50 the whole way, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So there's no right
or
wrong.
One more. Screw the bank.
I think that you just go with what you at that point, right? When you're 50-50 pretty much the whole way through, and you're getting down to, all right, it's still 50-50.
One more
case. It comes down to what I chose and what I didn't. Take what you chose because your gut went with that original instinct. I think take your case and roll the dice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the money for them.
Yeah, because it's not going to you. What do you care?
Yeah, and if you're
these people are going to share it.
Yeah, and if you're wrong, you go home. So I don't care. Like if I go home, I don't get any of the money.
Yeah, it's literally 50-50 no matter what. So why don't you just go with your original gut instinct? And there was a reason you chose that number.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
I think that it is set up where a game should play like this, right? A game should play where you get a high one, you get a low one, you get a high one, you get a low one, because statistically that's most likely to happen. Now, we all know in Dondi, they cheer for the high numbers being up there and you getting rid of the low numbers. But in your head, if you're playing the game, you want the low numbers to stay there and the high numbers to get pulled. That's the smartest thing for your game. That's the way you stay alive and give yourself the best opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that I know the game's set up where you're most likely going to be 50-50 the whole way through. I really think that if you're up there and you're seeing these numbers, just ride it out. Ride it out. Go with your gut instinct, because no matter what, who cares what kind of money they're getting? It's not going to you. Give yourself the best opportunity out there.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, Lachelle's pretty dope, and she walks the walk. So takes the deal. She has to have the 1 penny in her case. She doesn't. She has the 1.75 million case. She had a great time. It's a game. Lots of knives out left in the game. Our total prize pot is 9,182,000, and I have in my notes, Philip, it's time to stop being complacent and time to wear a bandana around your neck like you're a train conductor.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I love Philip, and I'm just rooting for him, and that's my friendly advice. Be the best train conductor you can be.
Absolutely. And I loved Lachelle. Like, I thought that Lachelle took it like a champ, really could have gone out throwing haymakers, but was like, you know what? I had a fun time, had a great time out there. But I also blame Lachelle for being in the position she was in, because she could have made she could have kept.
I would have made a stink earlier with CK. I mean, you had the what alliance did she have? like her alliance was not the family.
She was in the perfect position because she, no matter what, she wasn't in the family, but she also wasn't really in the other alliance. Yeah. She was kind of playing that middle game, and that's exactly where you want to be. And you kind of played. The game didn't do her any favors with the challenge this round.
No, this challenge was a secure the family challenge.
Yes,
and they just walked right into it.
And she just got caught in the crosshairs.
Yeah, there we go. So, all right. Well, Bobby, where can everybody find you? Tell you happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday to me. Yes, 36 today, and gonna go and hang out with my girls and have a good night together. I am at Goodsby Bobby, excuse me, at Goodsby Bobby on Twitter, not the body. Definitely not that.
That's Dixon. That's his handle.
Dixon, sorry. Dixon, I'm sorry I stole your handle for a second. Yeah. But you can find me on Twitter to reach out to me. You can also check us out on YouTube, and please like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Send it to your friends, anything to help us out on the algorithm. We're growing exponentially. We have a lot of great content we're going to be bringing out to you guys. Check out Johnny's Cameo. Johnny's been killing it on Cameo, one of the top survivors out there. People have only good things to say when we check the messages. Just everyone loves what you're doing, Johnny. Keep it up. And check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/aftershow. Hit us up.
realitypatron.com.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I was thinking something else.
Realitypatron.com. It's your birthday. You're excited. Yeah. RealityPatron, realitypatron.com. Gets commercial-free stuff, all kinds of other stuff. Best way to support the podcast. And I'm JonnyFairplay.com has links to everything, including my Cameo, cameo.com/JonnyFairplay. No H in Johnny. Yes, I have been killing it on my cameos. And anyone that got a cameo from me yesterday got Richard Hatch there with me. So you never know. I would but get those orders in. Cameo.com/JonnyFairplay, JonnyFairplay.com. But yes, like, share, subscribe, all the fun things. And until next time, and we'll have a guest next week. Get ready. We'll have the latest person to lose to the banker or victim of the person that beat all the things. You know how Dondi works.
Sorry, so, I still got Disney brain from being at Disneyland all day yesterday.
Sure.
I'm exhausted. So
but it's the blue milk, Bobby. The blue milk will get you every time.
We did have some blue milk yesterday, and not my favorite. Not my favorite. All right, guys, we'll see you next time, and check out our interview with the latest person voted out next week. Bye.